So, lads, this is not a great thing to see. This is really not a great thing to see. And it is Chloe Kitts, one of South Carolina's key players. Like, if not, you could probably make the argument that this season she was going to be South Carolina's key player. Like, if you look at South Carolina's team last year, she was one of their main players. And she was a starter. She was a player that kind of got them out of a lot of sticky situations. And this was not a dominant South Carolina Gamecocks team last year. Like, Chloe Kitts was one of their... She got them out of a lot of really bad sticky situations. So, points on the season, she was third on their team in scoring. Joyce Edwards is still there. And obviously they brought in Tania Latson. But Fulwiley's gone. Tina Paupau's gone. Yes, Tessa Johnson's still there. So it's not like they do not really have the fire. In my opinion, they probably don't have the firepower to win a title this year. Like, I don't think they're nearly as good as what you call. I don't think they're nearly as good as UConn. I don't think they're as good as. I don't even know if they're as good as Oklahoma. When you add Aaliyah Chavez and shout out Emma Tolan from Cavan. When you add Aaliyah Chavez to a team that already has the players that they had, and they didn't really lose anyone from last year, and like they gave UConn a bit of a fright last year. Then you also look at like Texas still have pretty much all their players. They added Grace Prenter from Meteors from Ireland, and then you've got I think who else there is. Obviously LSU getting Mylasia Fulwiley. Did lose Anissa Morrow though. Obviously, Sarah Williams going to UConn. I think it's UConn's to lose this year, really. UCLA still have basically their whole team back, and they added Gianna Neepkins. I think this is the worst South Carolina have been in a long time, even when you add in Tania Latson. Even when you add in Latson, it's the worst they've been in a long time. And I still think TCU could be dangerous. Like, I still think TCU could be dangerous. So I need to see what their schedule is. Because it's going to be really tough, and obviously now with her out, it's not easy. It's not going to be easy. Like, Chloe Kitts is so important for this team, and her being done for the season. Not only that, it does absolutely screw up the way a player that the Fever definitely would have been looking at in the draft in 2026. And then she goes into does she go into a super senior season? I think, is she young for 2026? So yeah, so she'll still be young. Like, she'll still be 22 going 23 in her true rookie season in the WNBA. So she's a really, really young senior. So even in her super senior season, she's young, which is pretty good. It says here, thank you to everyone's reached out. Love the support. Reese suffered an ACL tear and unfortunately will be out for the season. While this isn't how I thought my senior season would go, I'm trusting God's time and purpose. I'll continue to lead, support, and push my team to the sidelines. We have big things ahead. So I think this could be a kind of almost a write-off year for South Carolina. I genuinely do think that this is going to be a write-off year for them. I just don't think they have the... I don't think they just have enough. I actually don't. I thought they were very, very vulnerable last year, but they were a lot better last year than they are this year. And now losing Chloe Kitts. Like, Joyce Edwards is going to have to be one of the best players in the... in all of college. Like, Joyce Edwards is going to have to step up and be potentially the best player in college. Because, again, Chloe Kitts is a serious, serious player for this team. She's somebody that's going to be... that will carry a lot of an offensive load at that power forward position. But losing out on Chloe Kitts, you're losing a lot of firepower. Like, you are losing enough firepower that it's like, okay, yeah, we kind of might struggle to replace this. So yeah, for me, I would be if I was a fan of the South Carolina Gamecocks, you just hope that maybe Tania Latson can be the best player in the SEC. I think it's going to be tricky for her to do that because again, like you've got a lot of good players in that conference. It's not like Madison Booker's not playing there. Like Madison Booker's playing the SEC. You've still got full Wiley out there. You've got Flaw J. Johnson, Michaela Williams. Like there are a lot of really, really good players in the SEC. So it's going to be a really tricky one to even win your conference championships this year. But look, there's been times where people have kind of written off South Carolina before, not fully, and like they were meant to have taken a step down when Leah Boston left, and then they went undefeated. So I think a lot of people have written them off before, and they've came back and had really good seasons. So yeah, you just never want to fully write off this team. But the Chloe Kitts injury, they are very light, especially with no Ashlyn Watkins. I know they have a cot there, but they're very, very light at the 4-5. You're probably going to see Joyce Edwards slotting into that power forward position this season. And Okot's going to have to play the 5. Like, Okot is going to have to play like a first round pick. Joyce Edwards and Tania Latson might have to be the best player in college ball. And it's just because this UConn team is so stacked. And again, UConn, shout out Gandhi, another Irish player. But UConn are stacked. UCLA got better. And UCLA killed them last year. You've got LSU, who did lose Morrow, but they add in full Wiley and anything can happen there. Texas are going to be still equally as good, if not better than last year. It's going to be a really, really tough one for South Carolina to make it back to where they have been for pretty much the last half decade, which is there or thereabouts winning a national championship. Like, I don't think, when was the last time they made the Final Fours? 2019? Like, realistically, ever since Aja's senior year, I think have they made the Final Four? I don't think they made it in 2019. But other than 2019, I think they've made it every other year. Like, they made it in 2021 to the Final Fours. Then 2022, they won it. 2023, they lost it to Caitlin Clark. Super performance. Like, her greatest performance of her life. 2024, they won it. 2025, they got to the finals. And this year, I think South Carolina will definitely be like it's not an ideal scenario. Like, I think if they make the Elite Eight, it's been a decent season. It's been a decent season. And I get it, they got Tania Latson in. But they're very, very light. Like, when you lose Sanaya Fagan, when you lose Chloe Kitts. And again, it just depends on how good Okot is. If she ends up being like literally a WNBA caliber player and she's going to be a first round draft pick, then maybe we revisit this conversation. But for now, I just don't think South Carolina are going to have enough without Chloe Kitts to really, really compete with the UConns, your Texas, your... Heck, I just have a weird feeling. If Chavez is as good as advertised, they're going to be a real nice team. And then like USC aren't going to be great this year, but I'm sorry, when USC come back next year, they're going to be so fucking good. But anyway, I'll see you guys.